Hi, my name's Rob, and a couple of months before Christmas I bought a historic race car with the idea of bringing it down to Melbourne, roadworthying it, getting it running before Christmas. Unfortunately that didn't happen. It was registered and driving on the road in Queensland where I bought it from. So I got it down here, had a roadworthy check, found out what I needed to fix for the roadworthy, and then proceeded to pull too many things off the car and ended up not being able to get brake discs, so no roadworthy. So basically now it's the 6th of January and my first race is on the 4th of February. So I have to get the car ready over the next 3 and a bit weeks so that I can race it. So it's got a bit of a history, the car. It has competed in sprints and lap dashes, I guess, whatever, up in Queensland. So I'm hoping that to have a little bit of fun with it down here. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'll show you around the car and then I will finish off with my hopes and dreams for the car for this year. So this is the car. It's possibly what you'd call a 10-foot car or even a 20-foot car. It looks good from a distance, but the closer you get, the more things you find are slightly wrong with it. I did buy it. It was road registered in Queensland and had been raced, but not since before COVID, I don't think. So we'll just go through what I'm doing with it, and the idea is to get it race ready for a race in February the 4th at Benalla, Winton Raceway. But anyway, we'll show you. There's a few small problems with the paintwork. There's a bit of a chip down there. The paintwork's fairly average. It's not too bad, but it's not the best either. So, checking it for roadworthy, we found a few problems. Steering was one, brakes were another. So I've replaced the steering rack down there. I'm in the process of finishing that off now. While I pulled that out, I decided to pull everything else out as well. So I've painted and covered the exhaust headers. Down there's a high torque starter motor. That did have originally, I don't know if I can get in to see it, that brown wire there next to the yellow wire. The yellow wire is the trigger wire. The brown wire is a cold start wire which goes from there round and to the ballast resistor before it goes to the coil, and it's supposed to produce full voltage on startup to make it easier to start. Unfortunately, it didn't have anything to stop power flowing the opposite way, but it does now. It's got a diode in there that will work. So I've got that to put together, a bit of tidying up, bit of cleaning up. There was a wire that ran from that ballast resistor all the way up through into the car that just had ignition marked on it. So I took that off because it just wasn't doing anything. The horn didn't work, so I've already fixed that. There was a wire down here. That will be this wire here, which is the fuel tank sender unit, which had burnt out. It was still working, but all of the insulation had burnt off it, so I've replaced that as well. And I'm obviously currently in the midst of doing the engine work. So on the inside, Beautiful set of seats, very nice. It has these aluminium panels which weren't mounted in place properly, they were just lying loose in there, so I've fixed all of those in. I'm currently checking all of the globes to make sure they work, and behind here was a complete mess. There was just all sorts of rubbish. The panel itself is down there at the moment, but I'm rewiring all of that to get rid of all of the rubbish that was in there previously. Those pink wires are the rear speakers, and there's some more pink wire down there to do the fronts. It will have a stereo at some stage or other, but I'm not in any rush for that at the moment. Apart from that, that's basically it for the interior. It's all fairly reasonable. I've just tidied it up a little bit. On the center console, I've rebuilt slightly, and if we go to the boot's actually not too bad. So we have the battery already in the boot, aluminium panel protecting the fuel tank. There's one on each side, and all of the gubbins for the fuel injection, the pump, the filter, and all of that. So that's the car as it stands. So the idea is going to be to well, first off, get it all running again, and hopefully I'll have an update on that before Winton. So that's on the, as I said, it's on the 4th of February. It's now the 30th of December, so I've got 4 weeks to fix it all up. And the plan for the year is just to run it, see what it needs. It's supposed to have a 200 horsepower motor. I don't know how true that is. There is some evidence of port work there, although they're standard size. I think they've been smoothed out a bit, and obviously it's got the extractors. I don't really know what else has been done to it. It apparently is supposed to have a 2.7 litre motor in it. But yes, there's a few things to tidy up. I want to clean up the radiator and the water pump and just tidy all of that up. And yeah, just a basic tidy up, get it running, see how everything goes, and then we'll go from there. Plans for the year, I'm entering it in the 2 litre to 3.5 litre, I think it is, class in the Mark Sports Car Association sprints that I do, or yeah, sprints. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a top 3 finish in its first year. I think I can do that through consistency, apart from anything else, but I'd like to have at least one race meeting where I don't finish last. It would be nice to actually it would be nice to actually finish one meeting in possibly 5th, 4th, 3rd, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, okay, so that was the car. So what's going to happen now? Well, as I've said, I want to get it ready for the race on the 4th of February at Winton up near Benalla in Victoria. Basically, in the short term, I want to just tidy one thing at a time, like the radiator and stuff like that, and get the car dynoed so that I can see whether it is actually producing the horsepower it's supposed to. I guess 200 horsepower will be around about 160 at the wheels. So I'd like to see if it's making that and where it's making it, so I can judge my gear shifts appropriately. I will eventually work through to a roadworthy when I can get all of the parts that I need for it. And yes, I just want to have a little bit of fun with it. It's in class 4C, which is the 2 litre to 3.5 litre class for classic cars. And as I've said, I'd like to at least get in the top 5, hopefully the top 3 by the end of the year, and not finish last. So, you know, put in a good showing at 1 or 2 races, depending on how the car goes. But, you know, we'll see as we go on. And as for the YouTube channel, I'm hopefully going to get a bit better at it. Maybe some music, maybe some titles, maybe some graphics. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's the plan. Fingers crossed, and let's see what happens.